You walk into the room and you haven't said a word yet. Someone straightens up. A colleague laughs a little too quickly. Your friend keeps glancing at you mid-sentence like they need your approval before they finish their thought. You didn't do anything. You were just there. And somehow, that was enough. Most people think intimidation belongs to the loud and aggressive, but that is not what we are talking about. There is a quieter kind of power, one that never raises a hand and yet makes certain people uncomfortable just by being in the same space. And the people who carry it almost never know they have it. Psychologist Albert Mehrabian found that over 55% of communication is nonverbal. Before you speak, your presence has already said something. The question is, what has yours been saying? These are the 7 signs. Sign 1. You don't need approval and people feel it. You don't scan the room after you speak. You don't change your opinion the moment someone pushes back. That kind of self-containment is so rare, it reads as quiet power, and quiet power makes people nervous. Sign 2. Silence doesn't make you uncomfortable. Most people rush to fill silence because it makes them anxious. You don't. To you, it feels calm. To others, it feels unreadable. And what people cannot read, they fear. Sign 3. People explain themselves around you without you asking. You ask a simple question and get a full justification back. You were just curious. But something in your presence makes people feel like they are being evaluated. Sign 4. You hold eye contact without thinking about it. You are just present. But real eye contact makes people feel seen, and not everyone is comfortable being seen. Sign 5. You say no without a performance. Most people apologize before their no and explain it after. You just say no, because that is your answer. That kind of clarity unsettles people who have spent their whole lives managing everyone else's comfort. Here is where it shifts, because all of this sounds like strength, and it is. But the same presence that gives you power can make you feel quietly alone. People project onto what they cannot read, and what they cannot read, they keep at a distance. Sign 6. You make people feel exposed without trying. You observe more than you speak. You notice what goes unsaid. And people who are performing feel that instantly. Not because you call them out, but because your awareness removes the mask. Sign 7. You feel everything more deeply than people know. Behind the calm and the silence is someone who processes the world at a depth most people never reach. You notice what isn't said. You feel shifts in energy. You carry things home that others forgot by the time they hit the door. Psychologists call this high sensory processing sensitivity, and it is exactly why your presence carries weight, because depth is felt before it is ever understood. You were never trying to intimidate anyone. You just stayed real in a world that rewards performance, unbothered in spaces that expected you to seek approval. You are not too much. You are not cold. You just never learned to make yourself smaller to make other people comfortable. And somewhere along the way, that became the most powerful thing about you. Which of these 7 felt the most like you? Drop it in the comments. Because the people who intimidate others without knowing it are usually the last ones to believe it when someone finally tells them.